So we talk about, businesses growing around people if you don't keep up. Is there a trick you've had, or perhaps, as some of your readership has read around that and said, hey, this is how I motivate my team and how to engage them in the power of
I don't
lifelong
believe
learning?
in I don't believe in motivating people. I believe people are motivated or they're
Okay.
not. I believe in trying not to get in their way. And I just watch. Like at the end of the day, in the leadership teams we work with, it's like we talk every quarter about reading books and learning get better, or learning to get better in most of our companies. Some people do it, some people fake it. The ones that fake it don't move ahead. The ones
Right.
that fake it often don't find themselves in a room in a couple of years because they haven't kept up. Like you can't, like it's hard to be part of a growth company. It is. So
Absolutely.
if they don't do it, it's okay. It's gonna hurt them on a company that doubles every 3 to 5 years, which is what growth companies normally aspire to do, and many of our clients do. Well, the leaders and the CEO also need to double their capability. And if you only improve by 50% in the next 3 to 5 years, you're probably no longer suited for your job. Like you because if there's greater scale and greater complexity, you fall behind. Like it's a really big piece. And I always remember like one of my clients in the Middle East, and he entrepreneur, and he had roughly 50 companies. He had a lot. Plus, during a time of financial crisis in his country, he was asked to do a very, very important government role to support and help the government and help the leader of the country out. So not only was he very busy with a full-time job, and he had his massive enterprise to run, but all I know is every quarter when I would meet with him and we would review how his companies were performing, and because we were, I was in there working with all of his CEOs and their teams. Every quarter he was so curious to know what the book was. And the next quarter he had questions because he had read it every single I went there for 13 years spending time with him and his teams. This, like, everybody thinks they're busy. Like, this guy was busy. Like, 50 companies, 12,000 employees, and a full-time responsibility to your country. Like,
Right.
he was busier than anyone I've probably, like mathematically busier than anyone I had probably met. And yet he was consuming these books like nothing.
Right.
And so if he can do it, nobody else has an excuse.